She screamed at me right there by the water. "This creek belongs to the HOA." And let me tell you, I just froze. Picture it standing barefoot in your own backyard, cup of coffee cooling in your hand, and there's a pack of strangers in neon vests pouring cement into the creek that's run through your land for years, acting like you're the squatter and they're doing you a favor. My heart hammered in my chest. I honestly thought if I take one wrong step here, they'll spin it and make me the villain. Yeah, that happened. Tell me what you'd do if the circus showed up in your yard. So this all kicks off on what I figured would be a slow, peaceful Tuesday. That hope went right out the window at 7:00 a.m., thanks to the gut-rattling roar of a concrete truck. I shuffle over to my kitchen window, pajamas, slippers, the whole sleepwalking ensemble, and what do I see? Guys hauling equipment setting up right along the creek. The smell of diesel, cement, and early morning bad decisions smacks me in the face as I step outside. There's this woman, mid-40s, running the show. She's got this rolled-up survey map and the energy of someone who's convinced she's the smartest person in the zip code. She points to spots on my grass like she's directing traffic at the Super Bowl. It had to be my land, right? I mean, I've had morning coffee by that creek for 3 years. My name's on the deed. So I pad over through the dew and I ask what's going on. The woman turns with this practiced customer service smile, the kind you get from folks who've answered too many dumb questions from confused neighbors. She introduces herself, Lydia Cross, HOA Landscape Committee Chair, and she tells me this is urgent. Drainage, maintenance, community property, official business, all by the book, supposedly. She's waving her survey like a badge, telling me they're operating under Community Maintenance Easement CME 7.3, and that this work is critical to prevent flooding. Her finger lands on a line that's 15 feet into my backyard. My confusion's already boiling over, but I keep it together and say, "Ma'am, that's my side of the property. Do you have written permission for this?" She looks at me like I just asked if gravity is optional. She assures me the HOA's got authority per the CC&Rs. Those rules nobody actually reads when buying a house. She says the county will back them up if it comes to a fight. I ask for proof, permits, easement paperwork, anything. Lydia promises it'll all come later, but right now time is ticking. There's a big rain coming, flood risk, she says. I get the feeling this whole urgency thing is her favorite excuse. I start snapping photos, survey flags, contractor trucks, every shovel and patch of grass that's being disturbed. Meanwhile, the concrete's already pouring into my creek. It takes them 3 hours, 2 truckloads, and by the end, my peaceful stream has been transformed into a concrete canal. Lydia even plants an official notice in my yard, big metal stake, bold letters: urgent drainage, maintenance, community property, contact, HOA. She hands me her card, thanks me like I'm a helpful intern, and off they go, leaving concrete dust and a heap of dread in my gut. Now the smell of cement hangs where the scent of moving water used to be. I keep thinking this isn't about floods. The concrete channels look engineered, not improvised, like someone planned this for months. That night I decide enough's enough. Next morning I'm at the county records office combing through the original property maps. Sure enough, the creek sits 100% within my lot. The nearest utility easement is 50 feet away. No HOA rights anywhere near my water. Meanwhile, my neighbor Rebecca Shaw, she's a CPA and loves nothing more than numbers, and HOA board drama, is running her own investigation. She calls me that afternoon, voice tight. Turns out the HOA never even voted on this urgent work. The spending was signed off by Lydia alone. Same contractor who did the cement also installed a big water intake system for the HOA the same week. Rebecca's Excel sheets look like an accountant's murder board, invoices, board minutes, payments. She lays it all out. We meet up at her place poring over documents. She's got receipts that say Lydia's been planning this for weeks. None of the board was told. And Rebecca finds out the HOA insurance policy doesn't cover any work done outside association boundaries without written homeowner consent. So if things go sideways, the association is on the hook. Big time. That night, Lydia calls. Invites me to a community drainage inspection the next day, says it's for residents to see how the new improvements will keep everyone safe. Her tone is smooth, but it smells like she's fishing for public support. Get everyone on her side before the truth comes out. Next morning, I walk out to the creek, well, what's left of it. Where water used to flow over stones, it's now shunted east in a cold, precise channel. I notice something else, mechanical bubbling sounds downstream at the HOA boundary. I grab a flashlight and follow the noise. Hidden behind shrubs, I find a metal intake pipe electric pump and a big water tank feeding the HOA's irrigation system. I get close, no permit stickers, no county tags, nothing. And the contractor's truck. Same plates as the crew that poured the cement. This wasn't emergency maintenance, it was a cover for building a water theft system. The more I watch, the more obvious it gets. Every afternoon when the sprinklers come on, my creek drops inches. The system is literally stealing water from my land to cut the HOA's utility bill. Rebecca and I build a case, photos, videos, timelines, contractor invoices, even water samples when the creek starts to reek of chlorine during irrigation hours. County law says you can't install any of this without permits, environmental reviews, or landowner approval. Lydia has broken every rule in the book twice. I file a formal complaint. County engineer Samuel Martinez comes out, clipboard measuring tape the works. He's all business. Confirms the creeks on my property cement work has zero legal basis, and the intake system is a straight-up violation. Lydia shows up, flanked by board members, and tries to run her urgent drainage story one more time. Samuel shuts her down, tells her point blank, HOA has no rights here and everything done must be restored. He posts yellow violation tags like caution tape at a crime scene. That would be bad enough, but a week later, I get an invoice from the HOA. They want me to pay $12,000 to restore the creek, blaming me for obstructing their safety project. It's insane. Rebecca digs deeper, insurance won't cover them. So I gather all the evidence, draft a formal demand, and call for an emergency board meeting. Residents find out Lydia spent over $20,000 without approval. Outrage spreads like wildfire. By now, the truth is out. I pressure test the irrigation line, block the intake for an hour, and sure enough, the HOA's landscaping system collapses. Sprinklers die all over the neighborhood. The entire system is hooked on my creek water, and the HOA can't function without it. It all comes down to arbitration. David Rodriguez, a land law pro, hears the case. I lay out surveys, county notices, emails, receipts. Rebecca brings the smoking gun emails showing Lydia knew the project was illegal, but went ahead to fix the problem before neighbors found out. Samuel testifies that the cement diversion was never about flood control, just about getting water to the illegal intake. It's open and shut. David rules for me the HOA is liable for all costs. And Lydia, because she acted outside her authority, gets hit personally for the difference after insurance refuses to pay. The ruling is public and it stings. Lydia's pale as a ghost when she hears about possible criminal charges for land and water theft. Restoration starts, heavy equipment tears out the cement. The creek returns to its natural path and the HOA irrigation system wheezes and dies. Residents get slapped with $3,000 special assessments to pay for Lydia's mess. The board votes her out 37-3. Lydia loses her job, her reputation, and faces personal bankruptcy for what she did. The county, the state, and the EPA all add layers of penalties and new rules. Now any work near the creek needs multiple permits and full transparency. Rebecca steps up to oversee future compliance and neighbors finally start to apologize. I even install a little bronze plaque by the water. When authority exceeds boundaries, consequences follow. Creek restored by law and accountability. Simple but honest. Now a year later, I sit by my creek, no cement, no pumps, just the sound of water, and a neighborhood that finally learned the cost of ignoring the rules. Land rights respected, legal process followed, and a real sense of justice for once. But the shadow of what could have happened still lingers. If I'd stayed quiet, they'd have gotten away with all of it. So let me ask you, what would you have done if it was your creek? Ever dealt with someone in power who thought the rules didn't apply to them? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me what you think. Was justice served, or did we just dodge disaster by inches? And if you stuck with me to the end, share this story with someone who loves a plot twist or someone who needs a little reminder to stand their ground, creek or not.